Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our global TV deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
God of my salvation, because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone, and it pick a bad feeling to all wicked men. Not a people there. Make a man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear not hear. Instead of that, they only sit aside a rob and cheat, and not first and four. Make up what I seen to. Make a man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan! Make a man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. My favorite part: if Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the day them can sell out Rasta and sell it out and sell out Babylon. They give man show one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. They give man show one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. If Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the dead and can sell out Rasta and sell out, I sell out Babylon. Just stop on the front. You might throw a stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black thing, man, throw a stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. You have eyes to see, let him see. You have ears to hear, let them hear. What a prophet must say. President Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the prison and take the seat of the president. Stone one. Big man show one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. a man throw a stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men.
Stibbidim day. We in Global TV says certain kind of friend we no keep, and some informer friend we lovely. We in Global, bona fake friend and bona tape. We in Global, we not promote them, we not support them. Look at them on the cheek, come here represent for. We in Global TV, check it.
A pleasant good morning and welcome to New Global TV. Thank you all for joining us. It's the 14th of July. 6 months and 2 weeks gone out of the air already. Can you imagine? And it was just Christmas dinner last week. Welcome to the Global TV Meltdown this morning. One on off, go run, come out, go hold on for me this morning and make me one on the phone early. And to TikTok, you're certainly going to block me this morning. I know. I am aware, TikTok, that you're going to block me this morning, but welcome to the Global TV Meltdown. The Prime Minister has spoken, and it got me in a hissy fit, cursing, whirling. I was just melting down all weekend. Call all labor rights, please. We need them to be here this morning. And to my moderators on all platforms, do not silence or block any labor right this morning. Even if they come with their mouth nasty like dead hog or dead fox, tying a hit, leave them this morning. We will tolerate any nasty mouth this morning that comes around here. To my community of party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls, good morning. Welcome. Thank you all for joining us. Please call what a superintendent, a Black River name again. What a boy the name? Sinting or rather. I'm not call him for me there. I have something to ask him. Somebody run, come out, come hold me. Ladybug, me not take my pill them till me done this show. Somebody run, come out, come hold me, because it's just about to go down this morning. We have been saying it for quite, not even holding me not telling no one this morning. Morning, everybody. Morning, everybody. Morning. Minto, the Minto boy. I have some questions to ask you, Minto. Good morning. Call you Minto. That's his name. A suicide, quote unquote, happened in my community yesterday, Mr. Minto. This is to do with someone under the mental health care, Mr. Minto. The victim has threatened suicide. That's a whole other story with mental health law in Jamaica. The suicide happened yesterday by drowning. She threatened that she was going to drown herself. It happened yesterday. But many of us in the community, Mr. Minto, do not quite believe exactly what we are asking you at this point, Kulia Minto, is to do a thorough investigation so we can know what really happened at Springhead yesterday. Please, Mr. Minto, the community of party is depending on you to do a thorough investigation into this matter so we can know if she really committed suicide or somebody has taken advantage of her threats, Mr. Minto. And that is what I will say on this issue for now. There is a broader context on it I want to discuss in relation to mental health law, and mental health law review in our country. But the family are grieving. This just happened yesterday. I will not have this discussion now, Mr. Minto, but we're asking you to do a thorough investigation so we can know whether it was If suicide or otherwise, Mr. Minto, the community depends on you for that. The community depends, Mr. Minto, on you for that, because the story don't, we don't wrap weight around it, Mr. Minto. Let's say that. An investigation, a thorough one, an transparent one, an honest one, would help the community to wrap their head around what happened. But we are not really buying what happened as yet. Elaine Turner, how are you? Long time. But as I said, the one man in this man, and I have to run, come out, come hold me. New social housing, new social pension. Bear in mind, the word new is an emphasis. Because into say, the thing has already existed, so to affix the word new. And then we have new school bus. You remember I told you on either Thursday or Friday that Darrell Vaz has pinched one of his matey and told them that we haven't really got much to campaign on. So that's why we're campaigning on the buses. So you see they're going around the country hooting and tooting their horn about the new school buses. 110 of them, isn't it? New school buses. So Darrell Vaz was right about that, because the Prime Minister, which got me angry the entire bloody weekend, got me swearing, got me shouting, stamping my feet at the Prime Minister. You fucking fool, I said. You actually said that, and you know we're going to chew your bloody head off over this, but he said it, and I'm going to share it with you.
We have spent the last 9 years trying to figure out how can we get
Make a fix first. Make a fix first, Prime Minister. Make a fix first. I want you to globalist this man. Don't make me not have nothing. I want you all to work on your fingers fast this morning. I want you all to work on your fingers fast this morning. You need to tell me what you gathered from this and what are your thoughts after listening to the Prime Minister. This is the Prime Minister's defense, and I'm really angered by the Prime Minister defense in relation to the old boss. Because you know, when we were children, from baby to children, we regularly pick up our foot and put in our mouth and bite our big toe. Can't say you never do that when you were a child. But to take up a big foot as a big 53-year-old and put it in your mouth, we don't used to that, Prime Minister. We used to babies and children biting them big toe. Take up them foot and put it in their mouth and bite them big toe. But for a 53-year-old Prime Minister to be putting its foot in, talk, Prime Minister, talk. Talk this morning, because I want to have a go at you this morning. So talk.
We have spent the last 9 years trying to figure out how can we get.
Me say, take out a pen and write down this globalist. Don't make me not have anything this morning. Don't make the wrath that I have come out here with this morning for the Prime Minister end up between me. I share the live there, please. I don't know, me not ask for share live on my stream. So if me ask you for share the live to the social media page, on a WhatsApp group, on the friends and family, because all Jamaicans need to hear this. This is a government who are asking you for 5 more years to do fuck all. So don't make me wanna have no rangatang this morning. Wanna just make case, share the live, gather, and make the war start. Anyway, TikTok want to take it this morning, we will go there. Talk, Prime Minister. Lord Jesus. Is he fool, or is he fool, or is he a damn fool? Who advised you to say this, Prime Minister? Who advised the Prime Minister to say such? Me no live now the vlog, I go quarrel and cuss over it. Me no say, me no watch internet whole weekend so people may deal with it and me no know. Who advised the Prime Minister to say this? Anybody advise her to say this to the Prime Minister? They are sending you out to the wolves, which is in the social media land here. Lord Jesus, talk, Prime Minister, talk.
We have spent the last 9 years trying to figure out how can we get a proper school bus system
walk up on your screen
for our children. But you see, people who have never had to take the public school bus, or rather the public transportation system to go to school, wouldn't understand. Wouldn't understand it. You know, I had to take the bus and taxi to school. And when I couldn't, I walked to school. If you see why I'm maintained, you know why I keep my belly flat and because I never had an easy life. So I understand. I had to stand up at bus stop and wait and taxi pass and say, no, you can't come into this. So we have spent the last 9 years figuring out how can we do this in an economical way, but more so, how can we do it in a way that protects our children? I mean, it's one thing to talk about the economics. It's another thing to talk about the defense of the mores of the society, the morality and values that are constantly under assault with our children in public passenger transport. That is invaluable. You can't put a price on that. And that is why we opted for this modality. And every Jamaican should support this. Almost every modern country, every democracy, that's what they do. They understand the challenges that children would face if they have to compete in public transportation. So they have a parallel but separate transportation system that is more attuned to schools and the maintenance of discipline. You know, you can't expect the public transportation system to have to run on the schedule of schools, to maintain certain standards in what is played and what is said. So we have a parallel system that is going to be structured and rolled out in a democratic way. We're not going to force it on anyone. If people say they don't want it, it doesn't make sense, give it to somebody else who wants it. So it's a collaborative system. So we have spent the last 9 years working it out. So whatever we deliver, we're not delivering you a concept or a test. We're delivering you something that has endurance. It will last and it will solve the problem.
Jesus, hold my hands and guide me. Guide me through eternity. All right, I don't hear a lot, isn't it? I heard one thing. You all have heard an awful lot. Ladybug here with me here too. I heard one thing. The Prime Minister said, not Global TV said, not any pundit said, not any PNP surrogate said, not any bad mind people said, not any stray dogs said. The Prime Minister said it took his government 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 whole years, not half a years, 9 whole years to figure out. Don't cuss. Don't cuss. Don't cuss. We don't leave Rowan, no, don't trouble Rowan. Do not trouble Rowan. 9 whole years. 9. Oh, my light is not on. 9 whole years. 9 whole years. And all you could have come up with is a 12.5 old bomber clock bus where you go pick up a dongle heap. We don't even know who gave them. 9 years. You didn't say 9 months, 9 weeks, or 9 days. It took this government to come up with such a policy. 9 years. The whole tenure of Andrew Holness, don't cuss. The whole tenure of Andrew Holness's government. Have you ever heard Glenn Graham's song, 2 men grind in the mill, but one shall be taken and one shall be, the other shall be left behind? Prime Minister, you see why Cornwall Regional Hospital has not completed, will never be completed under your watch, Prime Minister. Because if it takes you 9 years to pick up, does not add all bus. 9 years. They come up with it, pick up the old bus them, and charge the country $1.4 billion, Prime Minister. You see labor rights. Rowan Chin, good morning. How are you, Rowan? You see, when we talk about the lack of ideas in the Jamaica Labour Party, the Prime Minister come out and blow the horn for us. The Prime Minister said, Global TV and others are actually correct. We have no ideas. That the only idea this Prime Minister come with is the word new. New old boss, new social housing that existed, new social pension scheme that existed. You heard it from the Prime Minister. We don't longer have to walk and talk. He said the JLP has no idea. The Prime Minister speaks loudly. The Prime Minister said it took 9 years. 9 years for the Prime Minister to come up with something that benefit the children of Jamaica. How can this Prime Minister claim to be a futuristic Prime Minister that care about the children of Jamaica when it's when you're on the way out the door, you turn your back and hand something and say, hey, and we don't even know what wrap up in that ras, Prime Minister? If you only, because that's what Darrell Vaz said, and I hit on a campaign plan. Darrell Vaz said, because when you don't announce a campaign plan, we not use the old bus them. The old bus them want to pick up a foreign and make Jacqueline Lecky carry them come in, say them new. You see why you can't campaign on anything. You see why nothing not done in the country other than cutting ribbon. Other than cutting ribbon. Come JLP, Rowan Chin, campaign this morning. Rowan Chin, campaign this morning. Tell us, what are your leader's accomplishment? What is his achievement? Because him can't come out and talk it. Him have to wait till Darrell Vaz go pick up the old bus them with Darrell Vaz. Darrell Vaz is only trying to save West Portland, They know East is already gone. They know East is already gone. So Darrell Vaz is campaigning to save West Portland. Darrell Vaz never take up this initiative for help Andrew Holness to win what Andrew Holness has mashed up and lost. Jamaica Labour Party. Jamaica Labour Party. Where are you all? You're on social media. Your social media support has and is certainly fading away. But where are the people who come out to meet on the one another on a tally? I'm really tired for so now speak to concrete asphalt.
More cars than laborites. This is signs of what to come on election day.
And those who are listening, those who are listening to me, I want you to understand that if you make the mistake and make PNP come back in a power, you show them wicked. Look at the school bus system that the Labour Party bringing here.
Rowan Chin, if I did there on you this morning, I would take off your mama jaws and tie around your neck. Rowan Chin, if I did there near you this morning, I would have take off your mama jaws and tie it around your neck. You know why? You've just said we've had the lowest inflation rate in history. If that is true, Rowan Chin, tell us why cost of living is so high in our country. If this is the lowest inflation rate, you see, how not talk backward like a jackass, like on a prime minister. You see, this is the problem. The fully dunceness, the celebration of dunceness that this prime minister come with. It make uno the Labour right turn even duncer. Big Bamboo, morning. Morning, Big Bamboo. Me know say PJ one half full lot. Me not talk about PJ this morning. When PJ did a thief, me did wait, we have to wait till we call Perkins glued and this and that. We never have the luxury what we have now. And me now go walk in a reverse, Big Bamboo. I'm not going to go in reverse. Heart Academy exists from Michael Manley days. When Siaga, Heart Academy, in the fashion of training centers across the country, existed from Michael Manley days. In the 80s, Siaga rebuild a lot of them and bring in more specialities into them. But they, which part of the free health care there Jamaica use? Stop it. No, stop walk and talk it. Even Britain, we have the best. We don't have free health care. We pay for it every month through with taxes. We have free access at the point of use. But it no means that we don't pay for out of we pocket from somewhere. We don't stop make the Prime Minister jogging around and turning on a jackass and fool and idiots Labour rights. We don't see the Prime Minister turning on a real jackass, turning on a fool. Have no insult on yourself when you speak. A big crowd, show a Labour rights.
Michael Phillips and Mark Holding are criticizing. Mark Holding, Peter Phillips, Michael Phillips.
A Desmond Mackenzie attack there, don't? Let me say to you, Mr. Mackenzie, Opal's Kitchen, how are you? Let me say to you, Mr. Mackenzie, car and asphalt can't care back news. Nobody know that if you care back the news to Mark Golden. The car them can't talk. The asphalt them can't talk. So Mr. Golden possible now go hear it back.
And Peter Mountain asked them, which one of them did them?
Our labor rights. One go be a dirty king. Labor rights. Because I don't crash on, you know. What? Right. This is the sticking sec and what the other one would have been now? Me no know. On this side, one a sticking sec. On this side, what the other one? But Prime Minister, we're not done with it yet, you know. We're not done with it yet. We just have to go to the sticking sec. Third term loading labor rights. Oh no shame. Oh no shame. No, Prime Minister, okay. It takes you 9 years and you only deliver 110 all bus that cost the nation $1.4 billion. If we give you another term, Prime Minister, that will be 4 years less or 5 years less, depends on if the term go up to 5 years or 4 years, the next cycle. What are you going to do with it? Because if you could only deliver 110 old bus, it's you said it, not me. You said it took us 9 years to work it. Play it again. Before they go walk fire today and go say Global TV is telling lie and the Prime Minister said the Prime Minister said. The Prime Minister talk all time good mouth. Dainty mouth PM. Shitty mouth PM.
We have spent the last 9 years trying to figure out how.
We have spent like when we play the whole thing earlier, but I'm going to do the breakdown now and address it. We have spent the last 9 years trying to figure out how, whatever am I going to do. How much have you stolen in the last 9 years, Prime Minister? How much corruption that comes out of your government, particularly affecting schools, education, and the future of our children, Prime Minister? We have been regularly calling with the surge of violence in our schools, particularly after the return to school after COVID, Prime Minister. We have been asking you to put measures in place within school grounds and within school communities in the evening when school finish, which more of them disgraceful fights take place. And this government has not moved to do anything. Now this government is moving to say that the school bus system is a part of us providing the protection, looking at discipline. What a woe.
How can we get a proper school bus system for our children? But you see, people who have never had to take the public school bus, or rather the public transportation system to go to school, wouldn't understand. Wouldn't understand it.
We know you had a hard life. We're not going to respond to your hard life.
You know, I had to take the bus and taxi to school. And when I couldn't, I walked to school. If you see why I'm maintained, you know why I keep my belly flat and because I never had an easy life. So I understand I had to stand up at bus stop and wait and taxi pass and say, no, you can't come into this. So we have spent the last 9 years figuring out how can we do this in an economical way.
Does the government have a think tank, Prime Minister? Because if the government have a think tank that think up policies and ideas for the government, you should stop the whole motherfucking lot. You should sack the whole motherfucking lot. Because if you're thinking, who was a part of this conjured up idea, Prime Minister, over the last 9 years? Of course, Darrell would have been involved. And if Darrell Vaz is involved, then we know. God help us. Who else, Prime Minister, was a part of this 9 years of thinking, 9 years of planning, the Prime Minister? Because you all haven't delivered. If Prime Minister, after 9 years and $1.4 billion, we could only conjure up 110 all redundant buses that are not being used on the streets of North America. Are you proud? You're proud. You're proud of it. So what else? You don't have nothing else to talk about. You come out in the same anger. I'm going to tell you what you say. Just like how you talk decent to carry come, or you talk decent to Marco, why you can't talk to we decent? Why you can't talk to we decent, Prime Minister? Why you have to carry on like a ghetto bitch so when you talk to we? No, what? Because we don't like you? Because you think we don't like you? Or you think we're ghettoized like you? I'm going to mention the thiefing part because nobody can match you when it comes to thiefing. PJ could have thief till him thief some more. Nobody can match on your oldness when it comes to thiefing. Talk out of your mouth.
But more so, how can we do it in a way that protects our children? I mean, it's one thing to talk about the economics. It's another thing to talk about the defense of the mores of the society, the morality and values that are constantly under us.
The mores, the morals and values that are constantly under assault. You say it, you said it. This Prime Minister who have assaulted the legislative procedure many times, we see Mount Golden and in team have to bar him in a parliament with you. We see them have to carry them a court multiple times on the issue. This Prime Minister who diminished governance, accountability, credibility in our country. Talking about moral, Jankro, turkey vulture, because in Jamaica we call you Jankro, but in foreign we call you turkey vulture. So those of you who are eating turkey know that you're just eating the grown jankro as opposed to the jankro in tree. They are the same family. Turkey vulture. Yeah, you turkey eaters. 9 years. And you think it is something to celebrate. This is what hurts, Prime Minister. You're asking all Jamaicans, I am one of them, to support the fuckery. You're asking all Jamaicans to support the fuckery. So that means that you think that all are we done. Prime Minister, we're in the fucking private sector. Any chief executive could take 9 bumbleclot here to deliver and have a job. Pussy, you would have been out if you haven't delivered on the first financial year, you dirty old bastard. The way this bastard speak to us is very, very irritating. Very irritating the way how this piece of shit speaks to the people of Jamaica. Because you speak to it like we're not learned. Are you one guy university? Are you one have bachelor, masters, and doctorate? Even though we don't know who write it for you. Me right, man, and me sure of that. This is how this piece of shit speaks to the people of Jamaica. As if all of we dunce like you, all of we ghetto wise like you, all of we thief and corrupt and hungry like you. Because anyway you see people are thieves, so it's because of hunger. The hunger still in your prime minister.
Salt with our children in public passenger transport.
And it took you 9 years. It took you 9 years to see and care about the assault of our children in public transport. After so much of them get taken away in our country. I don't know. So when we give the 5 more years, like how you're not going to have enough time, like the 9 year, if you think about just 110 old bomber clock bus, what are you going to do with the 5 years? I feel look something lighter gear, maybe pick up bomber clock trash. Because since you come, we are ratified over the country because nothing no work under you. We know we have a rat-infested country. But since you come in a power, we and rat have daily war on roadside. Beat and teach. The school bus system, as Damien work it out, will not work. They can't do more one trip in a man and one trip in an evening with traffic. They can't. The government thinks we fit buy this and say, oh, the government care. Don't cuss.
That is invaluable. You can't put a price on that. And that is why we opted for this modality. And every Jamaican should support this.
Support your mama dancing, go and breed for policeman and farmer and don't know which one of the pooper them give to, even though you know it's come out like the police pooper, but you still give to the farmer pooper. That's my response to that part.
Almost every modern country, every democracy, that's what they do. They understand that.
Now let's speak about the Westminster democracy, Prime Minister. Let's speak about the Westminster democracy. That which all other democracy ruled, all the other Western democracies, because mind you, democracy existed in Africa before white people, most of them couldn't do anything as they were eating each other then. The Westminster democracy. I lived here 27 years, Prime Minister. I, Prime Minister, lived here for 27 years. London is the major big city. Birmingham is the second city. I'm familiar with both cities, Prime Minister, as I live in London and I spend time in Birmingham regularly and frequently at my choosing. I don't know of a school bus in this democracy, Prime Minister. What I'm aware of is a well-serviced public transport system. Our children in the United Kingdom, Prime Minister, travel on buses, trains, undergrounds, and what's-you-call-it, that one that has no driver. The trams and the Docklands and all of that. Prime, don't know of a school bus in this democracy. I don't know what you're talking about. What is in this democracy, Prime Minister, is a well-oiled and greased transport system. Well-oiled and greased transport system. So the children in this country, Prime Minister, have no problem getting to and from work, school. We and them, even though we don't like travel with them because they can be hooligans and have a hooliganist mentality and a downtown mentality. We and them travel together morning and evening, Prime Minister. So we don't know which democracy you talk about. America had its plush system when we notice Jamaica tried to model itself on the American democracy rather than the Westminster democracy. And it confused a lot of people. But Prime Minister, that the parties are lie. You understand? Me there 27 years, I mean, I see no school bus in England. When them travel together morning and evening. You understand? If them a go on trip, if them a go on community tour and event, we have to sit down on the bus and wait till the 100 and add picking a company bus and sit down before the bus can move. Them no use specific bus car them pan short journey unless them a go out of London or so on. Them use public transport, Prime Minister. So don't walk and tell lie pan with democracy, them outside of Jamaica democracy, what we don't have under your government for the last 9 years. Democracy is not something we can speak about under your watch, Prime Minister.
Challenges that children would face if they have to counter, compete.
Prime Minister, the screen are free. But Prime Minister, we have been competing in the public channel. Don't cuss. Just don't cuss. Hey, make it look like say we just start life afresh. Listen here.
They understand the challenges that children would face if they have to counter, compete in public transportation.
But Prime Minister, Prime fucking Minister, it's our whole life there. Darling, it is our whole life. Just in case you've forgotten that you just told us that you stood at bus stop in the 80s and 90s, walk barefoot in the 80s, and Prime Minister, it has been all of us life. We have been contending with the public transport system forever. When back in the 80s, Prime Minister, when my sisters were going to secondary school, them after walk got darkest and crane go catch full roos and macadam and then something they be called bus and taxi never in our community then. God bless Rounting car or Mass Ronald car or whatever. So we don't have to walk. Go where we can get, but we have always been like this, Prime Minister. It's not like we had a school bus system who that depleted and then revived. It's the first, my dear. I mean, certain schools in Jamaica have their own school, but such as like Hampton and Monroe, I think some of those other plush high school because Monroe and Hampton children from our community, them get shuttled by bus because I remember they used to pick up my nephew and all of that as well and drop it back. So we're talking about the national system, Prime Minister. We've never had a national system. It is something that is a good initiative if, Prime Minister, it was done properly. If on a purchase like the same coaster bus them were we use pound root and put into the system to deal with that, I wouldn't have a problem. But when you go foreign, go take up all junk what people now use or people refuse and stop use, and then you come to it and ask the whole nation to celebrate the old junk with you, and then to add salt to the wound, you're saying to us that is because you care about our children. Our children have don't have to be contending, if I the right speaking, with the public transport system, which we have always been, which this school bus system and the road infrastructure and traffic, it will not be able to do multiple trips or routes. So it now go far to alleviate or solve the problem. But the Prime Minister come out and blow about. We see say all boss. We see say they all. We know say they all. This Prime Minister walk and attach the name new to everything. Cornwall Regional Hospital, you took 8 years to destroy Cornwall Regional Hospital. And then you come tell us, say, it took your government 9 years, Prime Minister. Isn't this the biggest failure we've heard out of your mouth? It's not even the PNP saying it in a Prime Minister, that you took 9 years to conjure up an idea and come up with total fuckery at the end of, and a PNP says so. Prime Minister, and a PNP says so. Mouth kill cock in this instant. 9 years. What could you achieve then in 4 or 5 if it take you 9 years to come up with 110 all bus valued at $1.4 billion, Prime Minister, and you're asking the nation to give you another 5 years? What? To wipe off the book? How much? We're going to get the contract for whatever retrofitting and the broke down fixing. We're going to get the contract for them, Prime Minister. Nine years. 9 years. And you're asking us to celebrate your failure. Why couldn't you deliver it in 9 months, Prime Minister? Why couldn't you deliver in 9 months? 9 months would have been too fucking long to come up with such an idea, Prime Minister. Because when you prepare your end of year report, 9 months, 9 months, Prime Minister, would be too long a stretch for an idea. And if you can come out and tell us, say, boy, 49 away, with a whole ministry of technocrats and bureaucrats, government advisors and think tanks, and all of those fuckers, took them 9 years to come up with fuck all. 9 years. Look what I want to come up with. 9 years, you know. Not 9 months, not 9 days, not 9 hours. And you convince us that you write a thesis of probably about 10,000 words. The person will help you write a degree, Prime Minister. You couldn't ask them to come up with a best idea for you at a quicker rate. I tell you, say, the people them will advise you, them are do you a disservice. They are doing you a disservice. Because you see, just the 9 years alone where you say take on a prime minister, that show the hand of failure. Why they can't set up this man bad. Them just stitch him up so, poor thing. So they know him fool. So they know him fool. And him like praises. Then send him out. Who send you out? Come stitch up yourself, my friend. Christine, how you doing? I will send you out, come stitch up yourself, Andrew. Because this is a stitch up, you know. This is a stitch up. You may never know. When they tell you if you come out, come say, it take you 9 years to come up with drunks. You didn't know it was us because you're so much into that small mind of yours. That little gremlin mind of yours, Prime Minister, who with so much degree policy through my system just go berserk. One man with so much degree, and you can't think up an idea out of your head. 9 years. 9 years. Why then, Prime Minister, in all that 9 years, because you have to struggle for 9 years to come up with the idea, why you never reach out to it? I don't know, so we're bright out here. Why you never have a cross-party conversation with the PNP to refine idea? Because this is how a democracy works in a Prime Minister. This is how a democracy works. If you think to say it's about the people, then if you struggle on the policy for 9 years, and you know say over PNP so blood clot bright, why you never go over there go ask them idea? Why didn't you go and ask them to help you with the idea? And say that you claim to say you bring it into fruition, but look where it be. Look where it be. We don't have to grow in the country. Go promote it. Nobody can look out of them 2 eye and say, you know, that's a good initiative. Because you have stolen more than what you have spent on our children.
We have spent the last 9 years trying to figure out how can we get a proper school bus system for our children.
If you not see the part there was a setup, God Almighty, you don't. When me do a talk, say you don't. Me never know, say, you really so done switch you. Me also talking, say you don't. But me never know, say you done stuff with you. Because, Prime Minister, I don't know how to help him. Is there a way to help the PM? Do you think the PM can be helped? I mean, you never know, say, this was a stab in the back, Prime Minister. Somebody come and tell you, say, go tell them, go tell them. Say, look here, I saw we care about them. It take me 9 years to come up with a policy. So the all of them are go glad and say, yeah, Chire, one wholeness, one bro God. Get no shame. 9 years. 9 whole years, not half a years. 9 whole, and you know, she said this was a set. You should even come out, come speak it. You should have leave Daryl alone for count the back of stop of them. You come in at the counting now and say there's more mess in it. You come now involved in the back of stop of counting and see the situation get messy. The Prime Minister, since the Daryl Vaz start the quarreling around the, I don't know, Daryl Vaz and Vaz can't talk, they can only quarrel. Since the quarrel around the country by Mr. Vaz, poking us and tell us we must love in buses, even though Vaz a chat you behind your back, because as me told on a Thursday or Friday, say Vaz said they don't have nothing for campaign pan, so that's why them a use the school bus, the new school bus. Here comes the Prime Minister, come out, whipped in the nation in order. Whipped in the nation in order to fawn and fornicate over his buses, his new, old, redundant, pick up in a redundant park of Florida buses, Prime Minister. I could never utter that out of my mouth. God Almighty, I've been a Sarkodie. We know how the private sector work. We know how even government work when you're at the technocratic or the bureaucratic level, or even the policy level. 9 years. That company would have failed 9 years over. If it takes a company 9 years to think up, that's what I tell them. I set you up, Prime Minister. Your mastoral and your doctoral and your bachelorals, they're not working, darling. You should have to say, this was a setup. Prime Minister, you're a chief executive of an organization. Prime Minister, if this was the private sector, just by saying that, in the private sector, you'd be out on your heels long time. Your integrity wouldn't be good enough for the company. It just wouldn't be. So you'd be out on your heels long time. You wouldn't have today to say this. But Prime Minister, as the chief executive of the organization, to come out in the annual general meeting and say to us, it have taken us 9 years to think of how we're going to change the organizational structure to have a positive turnaround, because they don't change organizational structure or put measures in place to get Wasara, Prime Minister, such as your old things. To do better, we normally put these measures in place. And if you, a chief executive, ever utter those words out of your mouth, your contract comes to an end. End your contract, Prime Minister. As a chief executive in the private sector, you would even have the time to speak those words, because your performance, Prime Minister, the company, the organization would have moved you on already, even if they have to pay you off for the contract. But you couldn't stay there 9 years. You should be embarrassed, Prime Minister. The Jamaica Labour Party should be embarrassed. The country ought to be embarrassed that it took our government 9 years, 9 whole long years to come up with an idea.
We have spent the last 9 years trying to figure out how can we get a proper school bus system for our children. But you see, people who have never had to take...
Hold on there. You see why I can't work out this school meal, Prime Minister, even though I'm not thief off the whole of this school meal money. If you do so bad with the bus them, imagine food. The breakfast sweet, The Labor Right crowd last night. Okay, Max Romeo. Well, you said the Labor Right crowd, I want to did the last night at Old Harbour, isn't it? Coming to the Prime Minister come out both this morning. Old Harbour, thank you. But Max Romeo, you know that a lot of people were bussed in. As opposed to how you look at other movements for the Jamaica Labour Party around the country. Yes, Old Harbour look good, but the rest of the country looks scanty, Marco Rubio. Furberger Minister. Floyd Green. Max Romeo, what do you think of the Prime Minister? Listen to what the Prime Minister said and tell me if you, Max Romeo, think that the Prime Minister should have said this. And if it was the private sector, if this could have worked.
We have spent the last 9 years trying to figure out how can we get a proper school bus system for our children.
I want your honest opinion,
but it's the people who have never had to take the public school bus, or rather the public transportation system to go to school, wouldn't understand. Wouldn't understand it. You know,
hence the crowd. Hence the crowd. If they had a gospel concert, hence the crowd. Because people would just come out for the gospel concert. Not necessarily that they come out for labor rights. Labor rights.
I had to take the bus and taxi to school. And when I couldn't, I walked to school.
So
if you see why I'm maintained, you know why I keep my belly flat and because I never had an easy life. So I understand I had to stand up at bus stop and wait and taxi pass and say, no, you can't come into this. So we have spent the last 9 years figuring out how can we do this in an economical way, but more so, how can we do it in a way that protects our children? I mean, it's one thing to talk about the economics. It's another thing to talk about the defense of the mores of the society, the morality and values that are constantly under assault with our children in public passenger transport. That is invaluable. You can't put a price on that. And that is why we opted for this modality. And every Jamaican should support this. Almost every modern country, every democracy, that's what they do. They understand the challenges that children would face if they have to compete.
Other than the American democracy, if any of you live in any of the other democracies outside the United Kingdom, which I have explained to you that we have none, zilch, nil point, Prime Minister, let us know if you know of any of the other major democracy outside the American democracy with a school bus system. Because the Prime Minister is using his old jump pan, his old tin pan, his old kerosene pan, beat out at election time to justify the other countries are doing it. So Jamaica moving to a first world modality, Prime Minister. So we have all new redundant school buses. Prime Minister, nothing what you said don't make sense. I regularly tell you to sack your advisors. Thanks, cuz. I regularly tell you, Prime Minister, sack your advisors. We don't know why you don't take my free advice, let me know. And you know, I'm on hand to deliver them to you free. 9 years.
We have spent the last 9 years trying to figure out how can we get a proper school bus system for our children. But you see, people who have never had to take the public school bus, or rather the public transportation system to go to school, wouldn't understand. Wouldn't understand it. You know,
Move off from my screen with the fuckery and make we go over to the Furburger minister. Move! Jackass. Touting an improved road network and improving water system in St. Elizabeth Southwestern, Member of Parliament Floyd Green say his third term in office will be concerted, whatever the word is, when the date for general election loom is announced. Green, who is Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, was walking a tour of the constituency in Flagaman Friday night when he summed up what he said was the mood on the ground in the farming community, tourism constituency, declare victory for him and the Jamaica Labour Party. Other than the front, because this government is a meat shop government, you know. This government is a backroad government. Other than the front, them Floyd Green, where you're buying a Southwest St. Elizabeth. Other than the young youth, them, hold on there. I never done with Minto. Minto, come here. I'm going back to your Floyd Green, but make I go back to Minto. On 2 occasions now, Minto, deaths occur in our community. I don't know the Jamaica system, when the person them dead within the community, we have to call the government people them on a vehicle. Twice! Minto. People die in our community. And when the police were called, Superintendent Minto, they were told, bring the body to us because we haven't got a vehicle. Harris Chang, Andrew Holness, Kevin Blake, can you assist Superintendent Minto with vehicles for the Black River Police Station, please? Because when anything happen over parity, them don't have no vehicle. I feel with vehicle have to do it. Just to say. Back to the minister, the Furburger minister. Which part, sir? The water and the road where I talk about, St. Elizabeth people, Southwest St. Elizabeth people, who not go stand up and make Floyd Green come out, come tell lie pound. Southwest St. Elizabeth people, who not go come out, make Floyd Green come tell lie pound, and nobody know. So I mean, one come from Southwest St. Elizabeth. Hello! And me one come from Southwest St. Elizabeth. That Floyd Green come out, come talk, come improve road and water in a Southwest St. Elizabeth, and nobody no come out, come say nothing. So what? Me lab out. Me the only lab out in a Southwest St. Elizabeth. You know, since I've been vlogging, Floyd Green don't answer my phone anymore. Right now, if I call Floyd Green from one of my WhatsApp, but me now call him from my WhatsApp, them way no know. Me communicate with him from my WhatsApp, where me and him communicate from 2018, Mr. Green. And you top communicate with me. But what me want you to do, Mr. Green, is tell me which road, which community you improve water in. Because we don't know about it and we would have want to know if we walk and spread it. Floyd Green. I don't know how to Andrew Holness and you who fail more. because you were handed the richest constituency in the country and you mash it up. You, Floyd Green, was handed the richest constituency in the country, fisheries and agriculture, and you take the whole constituency with Tufton thought pan with water and with fisheries, to be truthful, and you won. It start from Tufton. But Fly Green, you came, and just like Andrew Holness with a young self, on a load, broad mouth, on a mouth corner, start from side, on a ears, on a come out with a young loud voice, on a fool the people, and you all have done fuck all. I know the whole on run. Every move we buck up in our no. Every turn we tumble down. Because on just a tingle up with foot so. Because on sit down for 9 years, I think about the bus. The whole school bus. So on fail to do anything else. It take 8 years to destroy Cornwall Regional Hospital. We don't know where Golden and in team I will get money to fix it after the general election, but Golden and in team have to go fix it. So we can't wait. We should have it long time. So when we come out, Max Romeo, answer yet, Max Romeo. Max Romeo, you don't answer yet. You don't answer yet, Max Romeo. May I ask you, say, I am asking you what you think of the Prime Minister's utterance. Who advised the Prime Minister to come out, come tell the nation? Say, take the Prime Minister 9 years to conjure up and implement a project. Everybody, I watch the meltdown, Prime Minister. What you say? You answer long time. Me never see what you say. But who advised your Prime Minister, Who advised your Prime Minister? Don't think Mark Golden taxes system. Don't think Mark Golden taxes system to take kids to school for $50 going to work. That's not an answer to the question I asked. I asked you a question as to, do you think the Prime Minister should have come out, should have taken the advice to come out and tell the nation that it took him 9 long years to come up with this? And we say it, him say it, Max, not me. Let Prime Minister, everybody are looking, everybody are looking on the stagnancy. Prime Minister, you're not moving.
Having said that, here are a couple of things I think the Jamaica Labour Party needs to think about as well, starting with those flat numbers. Now, for the past 6 months, every time you turn around, you see the Prime Minister or Cabinet Minister do something, all right? Them a cut ribbon, them a give out house, making announcement after announcement. They're talking about falling crime figures, falling unemployment, generally painting the picture of a country that's doing well. And yet, when the numbers now move, look at the numbers, right? In September 2024, 30.2% said they would vote JLP. January 2025, it was 30.7%. And in May 2025, it's 29.6%. Zero traction in 8 months. Zero. So the party has to take a serious look at what is going on here. Is it that the voters are seeing all of this activity as too little too late, 10 years in office, and all the excitement that come in the last part when we're actually seeing or can almost see the general election on the horizon? That is something serious that the party has to take into account. And it then relates to point number 2 for me. What have you accomplished? Now look, let's be clear. I've spoken before about how the numbers look good. The country.
Prime Minister, everybody is asking this question. What have your government accomplished?
country's numbers look good. Murders down 40%, unemployment at a record low of 3.5%. So how come when asked what the government has done well, the biggest block of voters, about 29%, said nothing, don't know, not sure. And I hear the JLP argument on the campaign trail, them a cuss and them a say how that is how it's being reported. What about the fact that 61% of people could say that the JLP, the government, had done something well? Well, the figures aren't overwhelming. Now, 18.5% name.
Max Romeo, are you saying Diane Jackson Miller is one-sided? Because half the time you labor rights blame her as being a PNP. Are you saying she's one-sided?
Improved infrastructure like roads and water. That was the only other grouping over 10%.
My problem with you all labor rights, Max Romeo, why there can't be any objectivity in broadcast or in people's view? Everybody must be aligned with the Prime Minister and has been saying something nice about a crooked Prime Minister who is unable to certify his statutory declaration. A Prime Minister who's in front of the court trying to make way for thieves to steal unfettered. We must look at what Diane Jackson Miller is assessing here is the actual figures. You know, yes, it's been hooted and tooted that crime is down, unemployment is at its lowest, poverty is at its lowest, inflation is at its lowest. We've had no tax for 9 years. The country, though, Max Romeo, this is the broader part of the problem. The country is not feeling any of those. The country isn't feeling any of those mentioned goody two-shoeses.
And by the way, after that, we had 9% saying the government's handling of the COVID-19 pandemic was done well. 8.5% shows improved social benefits like PATH. Another 6% said as their major accomplishment, it was improved healthcare services. Surely, if you've been doing such a great job, you would expect those numbers to be a little bit more impressive. So if all politics is local, as people like to say, and it's the bread and butter issues that count, the question the JLP has to ask itself is whether those rosy numbers are resonating at a personal level. So voters hear the country is doing well, but do they feel that they are doing well? And the poll looked at that as well. Take a look at the numbers. When asked, how would you rate Jamaica's current economic conditions, 38.4% said average, 18.5% said good, 4.6% said excellent, 26.5% said the economic conditions are poor, and 11.9% said they're very poor. Then the respondents to the poll were asked.
Hold on the Max Romeo, because you're one of them where have a gripe with Justice Spanton. Where you say, provide me the information that Justice Spanton made mistake after mistake. Can you point me to the source, please? Point me to the source, Max Romeo, where Justice Spanton made mistakes after mistakes. Can you point me to the source, please? Because no labor right just come and talk things on a dream about, you know, or things that play upon the mind.
Asked, how would you rate your personal situation? 46.5% said average, so, you know. 21.9% said, yeah, man, we're good. 8% said excellent. 17% said poor. 6.1% said very poor. Now, those are not terrible numbers for the JLP, not at all, but they're not a ringing endorsement either, right? They're more kind of lukewarm. So the JLP has to figure out how to move the needle, how to get people feeling better about themselves and better about the JLP's performance, because if you continue to stand still and the PNP starts to pick up support again, time going run out, and that's it. The third issue for the JLP is incumbent fatigue, right? Sometimes voters don't care what you do, how good you're doing. then just decide say it's time for a change. Then just tired of you, they want to see you gone. We used to talk about the two-term syndrome in Jamaica. You would have voters would put in the PNP for 2 terms and vote them out and put in the JLP for 2 terms, and then that cycle would continue. We stopped talking about that because that pattern was broken. A lot of the time, people don't like to see politicians in office too long. They think they get too comfortable. The arrogance starts to set in. There are concerns about corruption. So voters like to shake things up from time to time and, rotate the political parties in power. So if Jamaicans are at the stage of incumbent fatigue, it may not matter much what the JLP does in the next few months if it is that they want a change.
What's really biased about that, Max Romeo? No one knows about Mark Golden trusts and offshore accounts with billions hiding. That is not actually an issue, Mark Romeo. It is actually not. That is wealth before he came to government, to parliament rather, or to government when he was a part of Portia Simpson's government. He, Max Romeo, has had his statutory declaration certified. He, Mr. Golden, would have had to submit wealth or earnings or assets or whatever of his children, anything he signed over to. Those have been certified by the Integrity Commission. I know on the labor rights don't want it to be so. But Mr. Golden, Max Romeo, is squeaky clean. There's not 1 year since the Integrity Commission Act, Max Romeo. There hasn't been a year where Mark Golden has failed to have his statutory declaration certified. Because Mark Golden money is not an issue for the people of Jamaica. Mr. Holness's money is not an issue for the people of Jamaica. Where, though, Mr. Holness got his money from is the issue, Max Romeo. We know Mark Golden has been in business banking. He's a top-forming lawyer for years, Max Romeo. You all know that. So this is not the best place to use Mark Golden's name and play politics, because I will set you all straight on that. If you want to know about, the country wants to know about Mark Golden, research him. The country still don't know anything about Siaga because we don't know where Siaga bury. Wanna stop the going after Mr. Golden and go after looking after the country. You all are not saying that you campaigning against Mr. Golden after 2 terms is not an election winner, Max Romeo. What a good election winner would be is to be able to rolling out projects after, no, not rolling out, to be able to present in completed project after project to say, look at what we have done. That is what would make sense. That's an election winner. But the Prime Minister is dodging the bullet. And we are waiting to hear the message of why we should bring the Prime Minister back. The Prime Minister came out, Max Romeo, and the Prime Minister said to us, it has taken us 9 years to come up with one idea. It's the signal for the nation that you need to sack this chief executive, because your company, Max Romeo, will not go anywhere under a chief executive who is 9 fucking years behind time. This is a disgrace. This is the biggest disgrace I've ever seen unfold out of Andrew Holness government. Biggest disgrace to ever surface out of Andrew Holness government, where the Prime Minister, the Chief Executive, look at the Board of Directors and tell them,
we have spent the last 9 years trying to figure out how can we get a proper school bus system for our children. But you see, people who have never had to take the public school bus, or rather the public transportation system to go to school, wouldn't understand. Wouldn't understand it. You know, I had to take.
Bullfrog, me know say Max Romeo mad, you know, but to me have a passion for mental health people, I entertain him. But Max Romeo, Mandela Chent, Professor Chent, all of them are mad people in clean clothes. You know the mad people them wear beard and dress up? Yeah.
The bus and taxi to school. And when I couldn't, I walked to school. If you see why I'm maintained, you know why I keep my belly flat and because I never had an easy life.
Prime Minister, you keep your belly flat because you can afford to, one, eat healthy, and you can afford the niceties in life. You don't have to nyam KFC, ramen noodles, and pizza, and the big broad flour dumpling, and the oily chicken back, and them fattenings. You don't have to do that. So you can maintain a flat belly. You understand? It's not because you walk to school, because me maintain a flat belly while some of my classmates them belly turn big, but the older we walk to school, Prime Minister, how you work out that? Why the people who write what you says, or if you just talky free flow out of your head, you need to check yourself, my youth. Check your fucking self.
So I understand I had to stand up at bus stop and wait and taxi pass and say, no, you can't come into this. So we have spent the last 9 years figuring out how can we do this in an economical way, but more so, how can we do it in a way.
So let's deal with the economical way that you took 9 years to think. So between Nigel, Fayeval, and Audley Shaw, because Audley Shaw started as the finance minister, isn't it? Then Nigel Clark came in, and then now we have dear old Mary. 3 finance ministers. Who write anything for the money talk? 3 finance minister and 9 years. And what we the nation got, 110 old buses at the cost of $1.4 billion. Hello, Brian Box. What your car you a drive? Where do you look me pan live? Brian Box. I look me pan live. That's the one who what your car me a drive. You want to know what color underwear me have on? I can't go about my business this morning. Hungry labor rights. Labor rights want to think like dead fox and dead hog tying down. Because that's why one can't think straight. Max Romeo make me cuss him. Make me cuss him. Judgment. No, sir. You see the reason why the Jamaica Labour Party mashed up Jamal in what country? Because people like what the boy name? People like Brian Box would come out of the blues, ask me what air car do I drive? What sort of question is that, or what does that? I want to my system. What does that have to do? My system has frozen. Bear with. Bear with, my system frozen on YouTube. What does that have to do with the conversation I'm having? Even if I drive a car, what does that have to do with the conversation I'm having? Your car older than my car older than the bus. You see how no dance? You come over here now and tell me say my car older than the bus. At least me would hang my pocket when me can't reach it, and my car would get old with me. But your prime minister take up all bus. All bus come in. And a turn all pan the prime minister and a Brian Box. Or a brain box. Brain box, black clot. I mean, don't see, a brain box in saying name. Brain box. No, I could stick it to the Brian Box. Because we can't call him brain box. I could stick it to the Brian Box. Him can be called brain box. Whoa! No, sir. Brian Box. Brian Box. Poor thing. You come out here with a name as Brain Box, and you come here, come ask me a totally unrelated question to what I'm talking about. Read the room, Brian. Read the room. We are talking about old bus. How you get to my car? I mean, even if I drive an old car, I'll be hanging my basket where I can take it down. Unlike the government, we go tiptoe and take down 110 old bus and take one and charge with the country after America give to them free. The old thing America said, go on, go knock up the two kerosene pan together. And the man Jacqueline Lecky charged with $1.4 billion for it. How we get per my car? How we get per my car? You want to change my car? Do you want to update me to what they call the new Benz them, the GLA or the GLA or the G's? You want to hope at the G Benz them? You want to upgrade me to one of the G Benzes? If you think my car is old, me don't know about me ladybug. Me don't know about me. That's him come talk about me car. But when honestly speaking, 80% of vehicles on Jamaica Road are older than the buses. Max Romeo, that me tell you, say I mad somebody we just up and beard. Max Romeo, we know say a lot of the nice looking coaster buses that you see in our country are not new buses. But there are a thing, Max Romeo, that are called brand new second hand. You may not have heard the words before, but there is actually a song, brand new second hand. There are brand new second hands out there, Max Romeo. My sister just bought one of the GLE or GLA, one of them recent Benz, but it's not new. It's a brand new second hand, and you wouldn't even look on it and know, say, somebody owned it before. What we are saying, Max Romeo, from the $1.5 billion, we could have gotten some brand new second-hand coaster buses that suitable for the roadway, because we don't know if the American crocodile looking bus is suitable for the rickety-tickety terrains of our country. We're not going against the school bus system. I hope you all are intelligent enough to understand that. What we're going after is the process, the money that's spent, and what the fuck they bought us. That is the issue. That is what the issue is. We didn't take up car con Giwi for $1.4 billion. You see them big, you see them crocodile looking school bus there. Those are for big, church out, broad road like America. These buses are not designed for the rickety-tickety bad road curbs we have in our country. They're just not designed for that. That is some of the problem we're having. The left-hand drive is another issue we're having as well. But then again, why are we talking to labor rights? Labor rights don't even understand when people tell them, say, go there and shot yourself in your bloody foot. Andrew Holness come out here and shot himself in his foot. And then on one blame me after the Prime Minister. Mr. Green, Southwest St. Elizabeth have quite a number of schools. And we don't have road. I wonder how those yellow crocodiles would really work in your constituency and how it would serve Mr. Green. Even just the primary schools alone in your constituency, Mr. Green. I guarantee you that one trip per day is going to be a failure, even getting the children to school on time, Mr. Green. The taxi man them still I got have them job because this ill sort out piece of bullshit, ill sort out. After 9 fucking years, Prime Minister, I cuss yesterday. I cuss. Look at what you managed to come up with after 9 years. After 9 years, you know. It's not that you do it in a rush in 9 hours and you say, oh, bam, that was sloppy tidy. That was haphazard. 9 years. I don't know why people ain't throwing stale piss at you all on the election campaign. I don't know why the parents don't throw piss part on at the election campaign. Labor rights will not turn to God. We don't have to keep gospel concert for draw out people. I just said they know. Yes, Max Romeo, I acknowledge that Old Harbor stood out last night. But why you don't talk about St. Mary, Portland, Westmoreland, Hanover, and all those places where nobody now come out for the Labour Party? We couldn't talk about the one gospel concert. We don't say where PNP go. It's a corked environment. See where the Prime Minister and Desmond McKenzie. No Desmond McKenzie, the thief in Bobby Montague. Up there talk to asphalt. Literally pebbles. Them that they talk to. If your old Prime Minister is so sure of his winnings, and your Prime Minister has a spring in his step, call the election. The nation awaits the Prime Minister's summoning. The Prime Minister is the only one who can summon the nation and put us into gear. Why is the Prime Minister dodging labor rights? Is the Prime Minister going to conjure up something after 9 more years? Is he gonna jump out at us with another 9 years of second-hand old tin foils. You see, labor rights, you all don't have standards. Oh, no, used to nothing. Labor rights. Anybody can go no old shoes with mud upon it. But if me I go give somebody a old shoes, me I go clean off the mud first. What the Prime Minister has done with 1.4 billion is give us old shoes with dry mud. That's what happened. And that we're talking about. When I say the school bus system is a bad thing, it's not a bad thing. We should have had it already. Even under the PNP, them, we should have had it already. But if it's this that the government can offer we for 1.4 billion after 9 years, and you all think that's progress, globalists, we will come back this evening. Because the war between me and the Prime Minister not done. Prime Minister, we can't done it so quick. We're going to salt and pepper the war and come back this evening again, Prime Minister, because this you need crowd. The whole village need to hear that this government could only complete one half-baked task after 9 years for an inflated, extortionate budget. Thank you very much for being here this morning on Global TV. The riot between us and the Prime Minister will continue this evening. Labour rights will not come out and defend the Prime Minister. Don't leave it to Max Romeo and Brian Bax alone. This is an all-out war to election day, you know, Max Romeo. This is an all-out war between us and the Prime Minister until election day. 9 years. 9 years. 110 old buses at a budget of 1.4 billion only in Jamaica. Such piece of bullshit would happen. Thank you for being here this morning on the Global Television Group. Labor Rights, PNP, and Independence. If you're here for the first time, please give us a subscription or a follow. So when we go live, you certainly will get our notification. Thank you very much for being here this morning. Me, I got enjoy the day now, but tell the Prime Minister and the Furberger Minister, because this is a pussy buying government, you know, because when Floyd Green now walk and swap laptop for pussy, Andrew Oldness, the go-go club sit down is being waitered to and having lap dances at the public expense, because wherever the Prime Minister goes, we pay for his transport and security. So the Prime Minister is buying pussy at the public expense. Pardon the expression, it's just reality. Thank you. Good morning and good afternoon from Global TV.
Oh, thy peace, God of my salvation, because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Not a people there. Make a man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear now hear. Instead of that, they only sit aside and rob and cheat, and not first and for make up what I seen to. Make him a throw and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. My favorite man, if Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the day them can sell out Rasta and sell it out and sell out Babylon. Big man throw one stone and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Big man throw one stone and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. If Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the dead and can sell out Rasta and sell out. I sell out Babylon. Yes, come on, that's right. You might throw a stone and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black thing. You might throw a stone and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. You have eyes to see, let him see. You have ears to hear, let them hear. What a prophet must say. President Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the prison and take the seat of the president. Stone one. Big man throw one stone and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what's a black big man throw one stone and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Rasta man throw one stone and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men.
Ladybug, what the Prime Minister do? Insist everything. Let's see if he's going to bring more gospel concerts across the country, because the Prime Minister realized just so them so nobody now come out. So it's chicken the crowd, or not chicken the nation. He's chicken JLP supporters in order to revive them. That's what I think. This is just a thought. This is what I think he's doing. Chicken the people to shore up crowd. Because he understands how the media operate and how it looked dismal in the media space for him in all these moving around the country, all these town hall, these divisional and constituency conference. They are dismal failure. The labor rights have really sat on their hands at home. If you notice, even in the social media spheres, the support is dwindling away. Because the truth is, why I'm kind of sorry for the labor rights, people normally take them side and you normally defend your side to the hilt. Both Labour and PNP. You have the latched diehard on both sides that does that. That refuses to see the wrong or the fault of the party. But particularly with Andrew Holness, the issue is here. there is nothing to defend about this Prime Minister. There's nothing to celebrate about this Prime Minister. And it makes their job extremely difficult, to the point where you would see them, rather than having an argument, sometimes they would go into a meltdown, or they would just approach you with the SYM, the bad mind, and all of that, because it is so difficult to defend this Prime Minister. And the more he goes on with the corruption, the nepotism, the cronyism, and the dodging from the electorate, it makes it more difficult for Labour supporters to defend the Prime Minister, because at this point, what people like Max Romeo and Brian Box and others ought to be doing is coming around to our platform, typing away at the Prime Minister's achievement. So far, zilch, nil point. Bye-bye. See you all later. Tell the Prime Minister, say if he missed this morning, come back to tonight's war, because it continues. Goodbye from Global TV.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.